YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we are back in between the ropes. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. I do appreciate all y'all that was in the live with me watching Monday Night Raw together. Man, I love chatting it up with y'all, and I do appreciate the support that you all are providing. More content's coming your way to YouTube as well as Patreon. I really do appreciate all y'all that are really kind of helping me enrich my knowledge, as well as kind of getting me back into love wrestling. We are on WWE Raw, fresh off of SummerSlam. This should be like a night 3, right? So we think this was going to eat. I'm going to get into it, man. I love to rate things with a yay, nay, and okay. And I'm going to tell you what went down. So the crowd erupts for Seth Rollins as he enters the building with his group, officially titled The Vision. Again, the crowd is instantly foolish as they instantly chant CM Punk's name as soon as Seth tries to relish in his one moment as champion. They're actually calling Bronson Reed the tribal thief because he's wearing Roman's shoes like the Ulafala. Why would he even rock these? They lost to Roman, but sure, it's funny to call it the Shulafala. Paul Heyman does bring up a good point, though. Roman has not been a champion over a year. Why? Even though it was one of his missions, he's been chasing around pointless matches whenever he does show up. Seth points out how quickly the crowd turned their backs on him, and he elicits the crowd to chant for Punk and OTC. The crowd is full of bots, full of NPCs. Anyways, Seth is talking about a genius plan in which he only let Becky Lynch and Mr. Heyman know about. What are these guys' vision? It's a little bit confusing to me. Breaker just said he would be leading the group last week. And why aren't the Bronze doing anything to garner success for themselves? So it isn't long before LA Knight shows up. You remember him? Yeah. Anyways, he's been tucked away doing nothing for so long, he flubs his promo. It was funny, but he gets right through it. Adam Pearce shows up and makes a good point, as he was deceived by Seth Rollins. So, they set up a match with these two wrestlers with the belts on the line. We then get a match between RUSEV and Mr. SHEAMUS. This is part 3, and we have seen this match before. It is a physical one to start, but it ends with a count out with SHEAMUS striking the beat to the bone with RUSEV hemmed up outside of the ring. These guys pay the ring of the bell no mind, and they continue to brawl as we see the usual security team that sucks their job trying to reel everybody in. The security team is so good in fact. Also backstage, we got Penta challenging Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller is a cocky guy for somebody who hasn't won anything in over a year. And of course, Penta wins. I don't even understand what Penta's purpose is for anything other than just to provide filler matches that are pretty good. Penta may not even know. He was shouting at Grayson Waller to stay out of his business, which Waller was never in. Remember a few weeks ago when Seth Rollins said these same words to Penta, who refused for some reason? So at this point, the show is an absolute nay for me. Nothing really too exciting, and pretty much everything I've called would happen did. That probably leads me to a broader point. I think that, obviously, of course, a lot of what WWE is trying to do is garner money. Cool, I get it. Again, they're a business, they have to grow. They did more time mentioning a lot of the celebrities that were in the building today than getting time to a lot of the wrestlers. I've mentioned multiple times before, this is a nostalgia act. A bunch of these people that have been wrestling for years are being used in order to get the storylines over to the next week. Like, truly, if you actually wanted to be somebody who was interested in wrestling, or if you were somebody who was interested in wrestling, this is just not for you. It's just for the kids. It's for the casual fan. These shows are not for somebody who's going to be tuning in week after week, trying to keep up with the storylines and the plots. Not for somebody who really wants to pay attention to whether or not these are going to be good matches. Charlotte Flair walks out to the ring, and on the ramp before her pyro hits, she is joined by Alexa Bliss. They waltz to the ring where Charlotte says, or she finally gets, "You deserve it" chance. Even Charlotte is shocked at this. Michael Cole is on the mic with Corey Graves trying to understand how these two won tag team titles. Like there isn't 20 plus singles titles between the two of them. It'd be like LeBron and D-Wade joining forces, or Steph and KD. Duh, you're going to win. The story really even hasn't been about the dysfunction that they would have in the ring. But these women get on the mic and giggle time away, daring one another to say the F word. This is probably one of the worst promos either one of them has ever cut. Anyways, the Judgment Day challenged them to a match, which was horrible. Even though Charlotte carries, it is Alexa that hits a Sister Abigail to win. There was just so much bad timing all throughout the match between these four. There's botches, bad camera angles, and a lot more. But at the end of the day, it did get a lot better towards the end. And, of course, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte retain. This is when the show starts to just scramble to find things to do to fill time. We cut to the Kabuki Warriors having an old damage control reunion with Io Sky. But before Rio shows up and asks to speak, all she says is that she hopes that Io, who she found out that has recently challenged Naomi, will win so Rhea can eventually get her title back. This is the BS that is getting TV time while our women's champion was getting cut off mid-promo and backstage. And she's the one doing the more entertaining promos. I mentioned in SummerSlam the layup was there for Rhea to have some character growth, some doubt, or something that showed a little bit of depth or character. Well, it isn't there. Same old enter title match, ask for match cycle. That's it. Nothing new. The story is Io reminding Rhea that she's never been beaten by her. And it was Rhea who took the pin last weekend. I don't even know if that would matter. Io lost as well, but they're using this title reign to add to the Rhea lore. We also hear Lyra and Bayley arguing backstage, and Lyra decides they need to separate. I mean, I get why she's mad because she lost, but I don't understand why she's mad because she would have lost anyways if Bayley didn't intervene. She was about to take a crowbar to the head, PG style. We get two gentlemen who are matching up in a never-before-seen match. Dominik Mysterio and Dragon Lee. I don't even understand why some of these luchadors just can't battle Penta or something once. I mean, it doesn't really matter who's a face or a heel at this point. That's obvious by the way WWE is booking things, so might as well. There is some sneaky work from Dom. And get this, we see not one, not two, but three grande americanos that show up and leave their imprint on the match, leading to a Dominik Mysterio win. Like, oh my gosh. Are we going to see Karrion in one of these before he leaves? V mentioned in the live stream, shout out to V, that the next round of cuts will be brutal. I agree. It's about to get crazy. AJ Styles comes out to make his presence known, and it looks like this is just the beginning of Dom versus AJ. Becky shows up in the ring, and she addresses the crowd once again on the mic in a manner that gives me deja vu, reminding us about how Sports Illustrated ranked her the GOAT. She asked for a new challenger, which is all I'm waiting for. And I'm thinking it's going to be somebody who doesn't see TV time, a girl from NXT. No. We get Nikki Bella. These two blab about absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing on the mic for a few minutes. Before Becky catches Nikki mentioning her husband. Nikki is calling Becky insecure and a failure in the movie business, which are things that don't even make sense. And it's actually statements that she makes that are just so ridiculous that Becky just obliterates her. He tells Nikki not to talk about Seth and how she and Seth are the GOAT wrestling couple. She then adds, it could have been you and your... And as soon as she pauses, the crowd erupts. The crowd goes crazy. Becky then pauses for a second again and says, oh, wait. You can't see him anymore. If any of y'all didn't know, Nikki Bella and John Cena were in a relationship. They're married. And it got kind of messy throughout the reality TV shows and whatnot. But that was crazy. She cooked. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't have a lot of hope for this promo. So that revived it. But anyways, I'm not trying to watch Nikki versus Bella. It didn't really sound like the crowd was too hyped to watch that either. Boom. Becky lands a sucker punch and dips. Backstage, she challenges Maxine Dupree, who I forgot is even on the roster. So, I will say, good for Maxine Dupree. She's absolutely not winning the match. We get a bunch more commercials, and Rusev and Sheamus fighting in the background of scenes. We finally get to the main event, which is Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. This isn't a horrible match, but it wasn't long before it was interrupted by CM Punk. I'm just saying, this type of stuff should get you an instant rematch, because this cost LA Knight a title. At the end of the day, Seth Rollins cashed in fair and square. Why ruin LA Knight's match? CM Punk could just be a hater. Punk might just be a hater. But it was announced that Gunther will be out indefinitely, and the roster is looking a little slim at this point, so it is possible that we are running out of Nostalgia X. And one of the new guys may get a push. But anyways, in the blink of an eye, the dogs let loose, the Brawns come running from the back, and they put CM Punk down, as well as LA Knight. Roman Reigns shows up, and Aura Farms then attacks. He ends up stomped and takes multiple tsunamis as Rollins stands tall with his group. Before they pose, Bronson takes Roman's shoes off again. So, Raw at the SummerSlam, folks. Raw after SummerSlam.